Rammstein has been one of the biggest bands on earth for the last 20 years, but still, in Google, one of the biggest searches for the band is, why are Rammstein so popular? Now that Rammstein have released two of the biggest songs of their career, Radio and Deutschland, we're gonna explain exactly why people love them so much. Number 1, the riffs. If you think about the most popular metal bands, especially from the 90s and the early 2000s, they're all rhythm machines. Korn, Pantera, Gojira, Meshuggah, Lamb of God, Mastodon, and every metalcore and deathcore band. Rammstein are as rhythmically based as any of them, and probably even more. And they got the kind of riffs that make you want to smash someone's face through a plate glass window. Richard Crispa and Paul Landers both have right hands like Malcolm Young, and you can hear it on songs like Sonne, Mein Teil, and Du Hast. Number 2, the imagery. Look, I'm old enough to remember when Du Hast came out. I remember seeing it for the first time. Masks, needles, setting a guy on fire. It was just too much for my 9-year-old brain to handle. That being said, I never once turned away when Du Hast came on MTV. It was just too damn good and too mesmerizing, that imagery. And a few years later, I ran into them again in the movie Triple X, and to be frank, their fire masks and them playing Feuerfrei is easily the best part of that movie. Even in 2019, Rammstein are coming up with imagery that is pushing people's buttons. Just look at the Nazi controversy from the Deutschland video. That being said, number 3 is the band's not afraid to be controversial. For 2 decades, PC weirdos have been speaking out against Rammstein's militaristic imagery, their BDSM imagery, and a giant penis cannon that we can't show you thanks to the YouTube police. Rammstein were arrested and jailed in 1999 after engaging in a fully clothed act involving a fake phallus. In 2009, their Pussy video came out, and it's straight up hardcore porn, with the band members' faces superimposed over porn stars. And this year, as we said, the Deutschland video was criticized for Nazi imagery and the band members being depicted as concentration camp prisoners about to be executed. Sure, it's provocative and all, but if you actually pay attention to the video, you can see that it's about the history and potential future of human conflict. And if you read the lyrics, it's clear Till Lindemann loves his homeland, but sometimes struggles with justifying that pride due to Germany's past. Pop fans may be satisfied with surface-level entertainment, but Rammstein fans prefer to dig a little deeper. Number 4, German makes the lyrics sound cooler. German is a brutal language. Just take it from Tim Allen.
The word butterfly. In French, papillon. In Spanish, mariposa. In German, Schmetterling!
Look, I love Rammstein, but something is sort of lost in translation when it goes from German to English. Take Sonne, for example. 1, here comes the sun. 2, here comes the sun. 3, she is the brightest star of all. 4, here comes the sun. Not very imposing, but when Till sings it... And the verse to kinda Lust in English, I don't feel like it, I don't feel like it, I don't feel like it, no, I don't feel like it. But when Till sings in German,
Ich hab keine Lust. Ich hab keine Lust. Ich hab keine Lust.
it's just so much cooler, and not actually knowing what he's saying, sometimes that enhances the music. Fun fact, there's one Rammstein lyric that's way better in English, and that would be Blitzkrieg with the meat rifle. Number 5, they appeal to all kinds of music fans. When you really break down Rammstein's music song by song, you'll hear industrial stuff, heavy metal, techno, nu metal grooves, groove metal grooves, gothic stuff, and straight up rock and roll. One reason why a lot of bands don't last as long as Rammstein is because there's not enough of an audience to keep them going through the good times and the bad times. If you appeal to such a dynamic crowd of music fans, it's less likely that your music is going to sound stale 20 years down the line as trends ebb and flow. Rammstein are still as fresh as a goddamn daisy, and it's because of how unique they are and how many people they appeal to. Number 6, they're students of Quentin Tarantino and David Lynch. The Rammstein guys have a great taste in film, and you can see it in their music videos. Du Hast, reminiscent of Reservoir Dogs and Lost Highway. Engel from Dusk to Dawn, which was written by Quentin Tarantino, and what does Deutschland remind you of? Inglourious Bastards. Lost Highway even features 2 Rammstein songs, Herrheit mich and Rammstein. And during a cameo in Twin Peaks, David Lynch himself can be heard whistling Engel. It's those creative sensibilities that all 3 share which make them timeless. Number 7, the live show. There is no show on the planet more ridiculous than Rammstein's. They're like Iron Maiden meets Slipknot and Cirque du Soleil. If you want to see blood, fire, explosions, BDSM, cannibalism, and a man playing the keyboard while riding a treadmill, there's only one band to see, and it ain't f***ing Coldplay. I've seen some wild stuff in my time, but to this day, the Hast bazooka stunt is still the most impressive thing I have ever seen. Number 8, Rammstein have not changed a bit. Rammstein's consistency is stunning. Few foreign language bands have ever achieved longevity here in the United States. They've all been Macarenas and ketchup songs, but Du Hast was no one-hit wonder. Rammstein's highest charting album in the US is their latest one, 2009's Love Is For Everyone. And Rammstein's new song Deutschland has racked up 42 million views in a month and hit number 1 in Germany. Only the second time that's ever happened. One reason Rammstein's been able to remain so consistent, they've never had a lineup change in 25 years. It's been difficult to stay together at times. Richard Crispa calls it a marriage with no sex, and the band members have even gone to therapy together to work out their differences. Rammstein have never had a Spinal Tap or Yoko Ono moment, tempting the band to overconceptualize and futz around with artsy trash. They took the AC/DC route, and for that, we're thankful. Rammstein are perfect the way they are. Number 9, Till's voice. Who says Germans don't have a sense of humor? I mean, fat suits, giant wiener cannons, blitzkrieg with the meat rifle, oh, it's so good. Rammstein's one of the funniest bands out there, but it's not just visual and lyrical. Till's deadpan baritone voice is the perfect delivery system for Rammstein's cottonmouth and saltines type of dry sense of humor. Till's voice is also dark and foreboding when it needs to be. He's got that Peter Steele kind of quality to him, and the ladies will back me up on that one. And number 10, there's no other band quite like them. Yeah, there's oomph in the new German hardness scene, but Rammstein are like Iron Maiden in the new wave of British heavy metal. They're just bigger than the genre itself. Rammstein's one of the few elite bands with an unmistakable identity. You're never going to see a Rammstein video and ask, hey, is that Imagine Dragons? Even your parents know Rammstein. The band's been pissing them off for 20 years. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Visit Loudwire on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at GramWire, and we'll see you next time.